my journey to Christ was through signs that slapped me right in the face. And 444 is a big number to me. And I
444?
444 is a huge number to me. And
why?
Well, so I had this experience in Sedona where I came to Christ, and 3 things happened to me, all within very profound things in about 15 minutes the last day I was there. And when I got home, I had called somewhat of a spiritual mentor to me. His name's Eddie Penny. And he had started talking about, I called him at midnight when I got back, and I was like, hey, this happened to me. I don't know what this means, but I think I need to lean into Jesus a little bit here. And that's not something I've done in probably the past 20 years. And so he started going on about this stuff with demonic attacks now that I've shown a side, and he goes, man, a lot of people have been praying for this to happen. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, what, why, who is, what the hell is happening? And then he started talking about guardian angels and all this other stuff. And I had a meeting scheduled at noon with my IT guy, who is a devout Catholic. And I call him up, and I think we're going to be talking about, I don't know, website stuff and IT crap. And he has the exact same conversation with me, not even knowing that I'd had this experience yet. Doesn't know Eddie. He is a IT guy, and Eddie is a former development group guy. There's no connection. Has the exact same conversation. Starts talking about.
For those, can you just define a former what group guy?
Team 6.
Yeah.
And ever since I had Eddie on and he shared his testimony, it was I released an episode every Christmas. That's when I kicked the show off, was Christmas. And I was like, man, this testimony is like so awesome. I think this should be the Christmas episode. So every single person that came on the show for probably the next year and a half at least had brought up God or the Bible or Christ. And it was like a turning point in my podcast that just, and I don't push Christianity on people. I don't, it would just organically come up in the conversation. And so I always thought like maybe God's like working through my show or something. I don't know. But anyway, so after all this stuff happened in Sedona, which was mind blowing to me, I have this conversation with Adam. And
your IT guy.
Yes. And he's talking about guardian angels. And I go home for a late lunch that day with my wife and kids, and I'm driving back to the studio, and I look at the clock, and it's 4:44. I look at the gas thing, and it says 444 miles left to empty, and this is it's 4 hours and 44 minutes after my conversation with my IT guy. So I'm driving, and I call up my social media manager. I'm like, hey, look up 444. I want to know what it means. Something just happened. And get this shit.
I love how open you are to this.
He looks it up. And you know what it is?
No.
It means your guardian angels want to know that they're watching over you. Right after we just had a discussion 4 hours and 44 minutes prior about guardian angels.
That's wild.
And so then I was like, okay, like that's a sign. And because I told you to, I live in at that time I had released the Brian Montgomery interview about sex trafficking, which is a whole nother debacle that the FBI started getting involved in. And I had interviewed Tyler Andrew Vargas, which was the young Marine who survived the Abbey Gate bombing, who lost his leg and his arm. And nobody would talk to him because it made the Biden administration look so bad. We were fighting YouTube about it, and he had all this real footage from his camera about the guy that blew up the gate that they should have killed. And anyways, told me that Good Morning America had interviewed him for 7 hours and only released 5 seconds of the interview. Here's another God thing, man. So having breakfast. My team really wanted to get Tyler on, and I was like, every media outlet in the world is probably trying to talk to this guy right now because he's the only living eyewitness. And I'm like, we're never going to get him. He'll probably wind up on Tucker or Rogan or, and I was like, fine, I'll shoot him a message on Instagram. So I shoot him a message immediately. He's like, yep, I'm in. Let's do it. I had breakfast with him before the interview. And at breakfast, he's sitting there with his fiance, and he goes, man, he started tearing up. And he goes, man, I have interviewed with so many mainstream media outlets, and they're all full of shit, and nobody will tell the truth, and nobody will release like what I tell them. Congress didn't pay attention when I testified in front of them. And he goes, I literally looked at my fiance, and he's like, man, I just wish this Shawn Ryan guy would just reach out. And he goes, I pulled my phone up, and you had just messaged me.
The people in charge want you to be weak. It's obvious. Fat, weak, passive. Take your pills. Why do they want this? Because you'll be easier to control. No thanks. So our friends at Beam, which is a proud American company, understand that America can only be strong if its people are strong. And they're working to make this a stronger country. They've got a new creatine product. Creatine is an amino acid produced by your body naturally. And it helps people stay mentally sharp and physically fit. So people like to mock creatine, the people in charge, the people who want you to be weak, but it actually works. You know that because a lot of people use it. And Beam's creatine can help improve your strength, your brain health, your longevity, while remaining completely free of sugar and none of the synthetic garbage that infests so much of what we eat. Again, they don't talk about this much. A population that is strong, clear-minded, physically capable is a threat, but that doesn't mean you can't be all of those things. You should be. So to celebrate real American strength, Beam is offering up to 30% off their best-selling creatine for the next 48 hours. 30% off for the next 48 hours. Go to shopbeam.com/Tucker. Use the code Tucker, we would ask you, at checkout. That's BEAM.com/Tucker. Use the code Tucker for up to 30% off. Beam is built on the core values of integrity, results, no BS. We strongly recommend it.
It was the first thing I saw. And he goes, there it was. Like, it was like God answered me, like, right there in that moment. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that's not a coincidence. There are no coincidences. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. But so I get these like signs like all the time where if I feel like I should be, if I'm questioning something, he'll throw out a sign. And like the Georgescu interview, me and Jeremy are sitting at the airport and I'm telling him like, I don't know about this. It's the first time I had ever brought somebody to do an Overwatch for me because I was nervous. You know, it's like, oh, I don't know if we should be doing this. We're fucking with NATO. We should probably bring a security guy.
NATO, they're just peacekeepers. So
yeah, right. That's why they're building the biggest
relax, Shawn. They're on
NATO
our side.
Base in Europe, and
the tranny army.
But anyways, sometimes I just tweet out something that pops in my head, right? So I tweeted out, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Set it free and it'll defend itself. And I tweeted that out.
I like that.
And I had this debacle going on in my head. Like, should I be doing this? Like, am I doing this for the right reason? Is this guy, does he need to be heard? Or is he just some type of a Russian shill? Walk out of the lounge. This is all, I don't know, 5 minutes. And this woman comes around the corner and she has this huge lion head on her shirt, like this big sequence, glittery lion head. And that's what was in my head and what I had just tweeted out. And to me, I mean, probably everybody will call me crazy, but to me, I'm like, that's the sign that I needed to see. Like I just articulated this. And you don't see too many people running around the airport with a big lion head on their shirt, like a massive lion head.
My reaction is not that you're crazy. My reaction is I need to get off my phone. Mm-hmm. Sufficient to see signs that are all around me because
they're everywhere.
I agree with you completely, and I feel like the phone is an instrument of distraction and evil, really. Though I couldn't live without it. I need it for my job. It allows me to live where I want and talk to my wife and children and all that. There are upsides, but in general, I feel like I miss everything. If a sign happened, it would really have to come by text message, or I wouldn't see it.
Yeah. Well,
I
hope you do that. But
yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot. Are you self-consciously not on your phone sometimes?
Yeah.
What's your phone regimen?
6 p.m. it goes on airplane mode.
6 p.m.?
Yep.
You're not on your phone after 6 p.m.?
Other than if somebody on my team texts me and they would text for an emergency. It's not airplane mode. It's like, I don't know, whatever.
Like this, whatever. I don't know what it is either, but it screens out.
Nothing comes to me. So except my assistant, Jeremy, and family. And so I don't mess around on the phone.
After 6 p.m.?
6 p.m., man.
It's like 1985 life.
I mean, there are, sometimes it happens, if I'm working late or something, and I'm always working, but I mean, I don't mess around on social media, or, half the texts I get are just people asking for favors anyways. So
only half?
Probably more.
Yeah, more.
All my friends.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.